The Nikki Glaser Podcast. The Nikki Glaser Podcast.
Here's Nikki.
Hey everyone, welcome to the show. It's Nikki Glaser. It's the Nikki Glaser Podcast. Sorry, I'm distracted. I am texting about a flight that my assistant needed to book. Cool issues. Hi everyone. I am back home in St. Louis. I have wet hair. I just want to say this is a wet hair pod. I didn't have time to get ready for this. Life is busy, and so if you want to see me with wet hair and see it get gradually dry over the course of the next hour, pop onto YouTube and check us out. I am in my studio with my two dogs. No one else is here, but Anya and Brian and Noah are all here. Hey guys, how's it going?
I thought you were referring to us as your dogs, and I'm
here with my dogs.
I was gonna accept it.
Dogs.
I didn't think that. I assumed she was talking about her real dogs. And I also want to answer the question. I'm doing fine.
Thank you.
Yes.
I can't see you guys at all because I guess my internet is not allowing me to see your video, so I'm just talking into the ether. But this is technology. Who gives a fuck?
This is 2023. We lost Brian.
And we just lost Brian, but he'll be back. Don't worry about it. Anya, what are you up to this morning? What's going on?
I've had a new friend. I had a meeting with a new friend. I met someone for tea. She was a friend of a friend. I just
hold
got
on.
back
Anya's,
from
you guys ever calm down? Anya's still saying the word tea. It's still going on. Did you hear the length on that tea? Did you hear? Go back and listen. Besties, go back and listen and hear the length on the word tea.
It's because I love it so much.
You wanted to, you're savoring it, even the word. You met someone for tea.
Yeah, I met someone for tea, and on the way home, I was like, "Good job, girl," because you don't take many risks in adulthood with new friends, and it was just nice that I said yes to that. We might be walking buddies. Is this me moving into my senior years? I don't know. But we might go for walks together.
That's nice. That's so fun. Can we ask how you met this friend? Because I have no idea.
It was just a woman I know was like, "Hey, I know someone that lives in Kingston, and she's new in town." And then we were just texting, and I was like, "I live by this coffee shop," and so we grabbed a tea. I was like, "Why not? Just say yes." It was nice. She was nice. It's just
were you like
weird.
nervous going into it?
A little bit, yeah. I was like, "I'm blonde and I have a bob and I'm horny." No, it was fine, but it is always a little.
Was it
weird.
awkward when you like first met? I always that's always my when Brian was talking about going on a million dates on apps back in the day. I was always my first question to people who go on app dates is like, how awkward is it when you're looking for each other and you like first see each other and kind of go, hey, and your eyebrows like raised, like, hey,
yeah,
like it's so awkward. I don't know why that part really gives me, as the kids say, the ick, but it really does. It's what's would prevent me. I can't be single ever again because of that awkward. The bell rings at the coffee shop you're going to, and you like look over, and there's just someone going like, hey. I don't like it. And then the table approach where you have nothing to say to one another, and you just sit down and go like, hey, like, what do you say?
And sometimes it's the wrong person. Sometimes you look at someone, you give them the nod, and they're not there for the date.
Oh,
they're
right.
just there to go to get coffee for themselves. And
why can normal people do this and I can go on and I can't, or I can, and I have done it before. And so I'm not I'm not talking from a place of complete ignorance, but why can I go on stage for an hour and talk into a microphone and have no problem with it and talk for hours? I could go longer and talk for hours, but the idea of meeting with someone who you potentially could have sex with, and Anya, this is not the person that you just met with, but it's too much on the table, man.
I know why. I know why. Because we're in control on stage. It is not an egalitarian relationship. We have a little more power than the audience has. So we're comfortable. But in the other situation, you're supposed to both kind of have roughly the same amount of power. And it's just harder then.
Yes. That's what hecklers and comedians always say to hecklers is like, you brought a knife to a gunfight. Like, I have a microphone. Don't do this.
Yes.
Right now.
Whenever you're on stage, at any point, you could just be like, I don't want to talk about this anymore. I want to talk about this. Or you could just start making fun of the person in front of you. On a date, those things won't work. You can't just be on a date and be like, I don't want to talk about squirrels anymore. I want to talk about cars.
You would do that, Brian. I'm done talking about this now. Please, let's shift subjects.
This is boring.
Yeah.
Hey, where'd you get that shirt, you piece of shit? Sometimes I'll do that.
That's a good opener.
I'll just start
You should write a
roasting
book.
them. Yeah.
I'm already figuring out ways for you to get out of this friendship. Like
I knew you were gonna say that, and but I'm okay with it
because
right
now.
Now.
When people want to hang out and they and you don't really want to, what do you do?
I just am unavailable. But I told it. Here's why I'm proud of myself. I've made strides in my life. First of all, I did not pay, which I think is a progress for me. Because in the past, I would have been like, I got you, and then you set up this weird relationship again, where like I have a little more power.
Well, did she pay?
Well, I got there early and I paid for my own, but she arrived just as I was getting ready to pay. And like in the past, Anya, 1.0 would have been like, hey, I'll get you too, just to be generous. But then it sets up a weird thing, I feel like, where I feel pressure. Yeah, like I feel pressure or we're doing like you get me next time. Like, what if I don't want it next time? Let's just do our own thing.
Right. It sets up a next time. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Can I ask why do you live in Kingston?
Great question. It's okay. Matt's fault. Matt lives here, and
Why does Matt live there?
Honestly, guys, I think when the apocalypse happens, I'm in one of the top 10 places in the U.S. to be. I really do believe that. We're at a good elevation. We don't have hurricanes. We don't have earthquakes. We don't have tornadoes. We have had an ice storm like once in the last 5 years, which was not a huge deal.
You don't have a grocery store within 20 miles.
Yes, we
You don't have a Starbucks.
Yes, we do.
You don't.
No, I envy. I ask because I envy you. I want to live in a place that's like a little less congested and just kind of you can go outside and not run into people all the time, and you can just be out and listen to the birds. Like I envy where you are, and I wanted to know why you're there and like what gave you the gall to live in a place that's not a big city.
Well, every time I read about a musician, they are recording in Kingston, or they're from there, or they have a bassist has a spot there. There's lots of musicians in Kingston. Was he drawn to it for that? A lot of people
are moving to. No, the real estate was really cheap at the time that he bought his house. But now everyone's moving to Beacon, which is a little farther south. Everyone lives in like Beacon or Germantown, or these are little places upstate, or like Saugerties or New Paltz. SUNY New Paltz.
Yes.
So they're all around here. Woodstock is completely turned into like Silver Lake on a Saturday afternoon. It's impossible to get in and out of there. As Nikki and the girls chat knows, I tried to buy a table in Woodstock on a Saturday and it was absolute hell. But I ended up here because of Matt.
And stuff, or is
so much traffic, and it's a tiny one. Like it's a one lane. Traffic one lane in each direction, and it's just absolute hell. Like pedestrians
but
just
to
deciding
you is hell,
to cross.
What's hell to you? Because if compared to LA traffic, like when someone says hell in Woodstock, that's like 10 minutes of waiting, whereas that would take you 55
You're so
minutes.
right. Yeah. You're so right. I was getting angry, and then I was like, what are you angry about? And I just thought about that great Pete Holmes special where he's like angry at everyone in LA for using Waze. And he's like, oh, you're psyched. You got there a minute earlier than me, and you look like you had a nervous breakdown and you're covered in sweat. Meanwhile, I'm just like zen in my car. Like, he's like, just shut up and sit in traffic, listen to a podcast, and shut up. Just accept it. So I was doing that and was like,
I get if you're like stressed to get somewhere, a minute or 2 minutes can make a huge difference. But getting frustrated by traffic is kind of
Isn't it so funny though how
yes,
it's kind of sweet. It's just like find some. It's hack, like everyone's mad about traffic.
Be original.
Find something new. Yeah.
Isn't it interesting how when you're running late for something and you got that number on your Google Maps and it says you're going to arrive at 3:24 and you try to go so much faster, you risk your life and everyone around you to get there at 3:22 instead, as if that's going to make a difference to anybody. Like
I
it
know.
feels like when I'm driving, like, all right, it says 324, but if I go 100 miles an hour and get there at 322, everyone's going to be okay with me being 22 minutes late.
We were late the other
Yes.
day to for Chris's birthday, I got him the Porsche driving experience, which is this thing that one of my rich
yes.
friends told me about that she did with her husband, where they go and they you just drive two different Porsche cars. And he drives with an instructor. And so he on this big track out in San Pedro, it's like south of LAX. And so he didn't know what I had bought him. It was a surprise. So I was like, we have to be there by 2:30. We're supposed to get there. And I was shooting something on the beach for something and up in Malibu, and I thought it was an hour away because I had Wazed it the night before to see, because it's cool on Waze because you can see tomorrow at what time I want to get there, like what based on the traffic tomorrow. But they've been slipping, man. They've been slipping hard because they just give me the time for now, and I think they just like kind of wing it for the next day. They don't really know because it was an hour and a half to get down there in traffic. And I was like, Chris, we are supposed to be there at 2:30, but we are now getting there at 3:05. I was like,
Oh
it
my
starts
God.
at 3. Fuck. Like, it starts at 3, but they want you to check in at 2:30. So it's kind of like, we're fine if we get there by 3. But it's
Yeah.
3:05, and he's like, I will knock off 10 minutes. Because we had an hour and a half. So 10 minutes can be knocked off with an hour and a half drive.
Sure,
if
yeah,
you
yeah,
are really doing some maneuvering. So it was ironic because the whole way down there, he is driving like a Porsche race car driver. And he was doing all these crazy things. And he later apologized to me, but I was like, I have become immune to your weaving and, U-turning.
Bobbing and weaving.
Bobbing and weaving and like all the just gunning it and then going in the lane where it's like the side lane where people turn off if they have a flat tire, like going down that and then like zipping in front of someone who's on their phone to get in. Like he's really good at
damn.
it. We got honked at 0 times. We got pulled over 0 times. I felt unsafe 0 times. He's good at it. So we got there and I was like, it's so crazy. They just spent the last 90 minutes like Dale Earnhardting it down here. Luckily, Dale Earnhardt Senior, because I think he didn't die driving. But anyway, so then we get down there and he sees the place and he's like, oh my God. And he was like, I've researched these places. This one's the best one. And we just walk in and they're waiting for us because sometimes when people see my name on a thing, I paid for it. So they just saw my name on the credit card because I put his name for all the things because I'm just there to sit and watch like a mom watching her toddler on the playground. There's like a whole area for moms to watch their little kids go out and drive around and go vroom vroom. And but there was this woman waiting for us right as we walked in. She had a lanyard for him with his name on it and the cars he's driving on it. Like it's such like a kid's experience for like grown adult men, rich men. And he was so excited, but they had seen my name and she recognized me because she was a fan, which is so nice. So shout out to Michelle from the Porsche driving experience. And they hooked us up and they didn't hook us up at all, to be honest with you. They were just nice to me. They gave me literally nothing. Actually, yes, they gave us 1 lap for free because at the end, she was like, because he goes for an hour and a half, he's learning how to drive around this track. Like there's tons of tracks. It's like miles and miles of tracks. There's one Chris could explain it to you guys. Not that anyone really cares. I mean, some people might, but there's this one part that there's like a skid, like it's, there's only 2 of these little things in the nation, I guess. And you drive over it and it pulls a thing out from under your tires and it makes your tires go like, woo. And you have to like quickly like fix it. And then you skid all over these, like this tarp thing that has a bunch of water on it. So you go like, woo, and cool sound effects. And then, and so I watched him do that 7 times. Like it was literally like watching your kid go down a slide. Like you go down the slide very slow. By the way, he was going 15 miles an hour when he did this part. Like there's nothing like, it's cool because it's maneuvering tactics and he like learned how to be a better driver doing it. So then at the end, Michelle was talking to me. She was like, the woman I want to be. She was like, she's older than me, but like just dressed perfectly, great makeup, great hair. She like loves cars. She's trying to talk to me about cars. Little does she know, I have no interest in cars. I don't know anything about them. She's talking to me about like, well, I have 4 911s. And I'm like, oh my God, I love talking about 911. Like that's all we had in common was that she loved Porsche 911s and I like talking about 911. Not the same thing. It is 911, by the way. Shout out to survivors and
shout out.
I mean, not shout out, but
Hey,
like,
big ups to all my survivors of 9/11.
Everyone who had anything to do with 9/11, besides people that did it, I don't know what to say. God damn it.
Just move on.
Anyway, so she was like the coolest, and she used to work on the Dennis Miller live show. She used to work on Just Shoot Me, so we had like some friends.
Doing what?
She was a producer, and now she's like, I just love Porsche. She talks like this. She has like the greatest voice.
Does she
was
say
like,
Porsche or Porsche?
Porsche. Oh, she said Porsche. Sorry, I'm supposed to say Porsche. Okay, sorry. This isn't Ellen's wife. It says it's Porsche. Who says Porsche? When you guys see a Porsche, do you say Porsche?
Oh, no, I say
Do you
Porsche.
say the little? Yeah.
No, I don't say Porsche.
Who say
People who
Porsche?
drive
There should be an
them
IA.
Say it.
Oh.
Let me ask you
do
this.
you have a Porsche? And I was like, I have my mom's beat up old Lexus that has a huge dent in the back because I rear-ended a trailer recently. It would be humiliating. I was like, I just Uber everywhere. I was like, I didn't even tell her what I drive because I don't even know the make and model of it. It's just, I know I guess the make, but I don't know the model. I don't know anything about cars. It's so embarrassing when you're around someone who cares so much about it. And she's like, I just love this track. Look at that one over there. And she's just like pointing out all the things. And she's so smart and educated about all this, and I felt like a real dum-dum, and I was eating a salad out of a trash bag. It was like, we didn't have any bags at my hotel room, and so I was like, babe, I told Chris, because I went to go shoot this thing, and I said, hey, but when you come to pick me up, will you bring this salad that's in the refrigerator, because I didn't want to bring it with me because it was gotten too hot. And so he's like, sure. And I was like, you need to put it in a bag though, because it's kind of loose. It's gonna break apart if you just put it in my like tote bag. So all he had was trash bags. So I'm eating the salad out of a trash bag, and it's the wrong salad.
In a container?
Yes, in a container, but in a trash bag. And then I threw it away because it was the wrong salad. He picked one that was like 4 days old, and I wanted him to it was my fault. I told him to bring the wrong one. So it smelled so bad. It was disgusting. It was like all these like rotting vegetables. And so I threw it away in the trash. I threw away my own car keys with the trash bag. So
God.
at the end of this whole thing, when we say goodbye and we walk out to like leave, we can't find my keys. And we've just said goodbye to like everyone that's been so nice to us there. We like had a great experience. The place is closing. They're like so glad their day is done. I have to be like, I lost my keys. And I go back in and we're looking everywhere, but the place is immaculate. The keys are not there. And I'm like, I have a feeling I threw away the keys. So then I have to dig through the trash. This girl who doesn't even own a car. And everyone there owns like 18 911s. They're all staring at me digging. Chris goes through the trash, finds the keys to our thank God it was a BMW, so I didn't look like a total idiot. But that was just rented for me by this company that I'm working with, so I had nothing to do with it. It was just so humiliating. But they did at the end. So when he gets done with his lesson, he had so much fun. It was like, he was truly like a child. Like he was like, that was the coolest thing I've ever done. If you want to give your husband or boyfriend or maybe your girlfriend, if she's into this kind of thing, the best gift ever, if anyone in your life is into cars, do a Porsche driving experience in LA. Yeah. Or there's like these these tracks are like all over the nation, but the Porsche one is one of the best.
It would be the exact opposite for me. I mean, I would hate to be in the Porsche driving experience, but Allie would love it.
She would.
Oh yeah, she would love that. I mean, I one time I bought her a Mario Kart go-karting racing experience, which was like not as cool as it sounds, but it was fine. You know, like there's like
no, it
go-karts.
Didn't sound cool at all. So I want to make sure you didn't think I thought that sounded cool.
Well, you could do like
what is it? Sorry,
I was just you know
joking,
what Mario Kart is, right?
Of course.
Okay, so like they have like regional races where you like participate in a Mario Kart go-karting race. You know, there's go-karts that go fast. Like it's not like go-karting at a carnival. It's like fast go-karts that go around a track where there's a bunch of tires as the sides of the track so you don't die.
Yes, I've done that. It is fun.
And then there are regional. Yeah, well, I don't think you have to wear a suit.
They give you like a
Yoshi
onesie and like yeah.
Yes, you can wear a onesie suit. So Allie dressed up like Yoshi, and then I think I dressed up like Luigi, and we went to this thing, and it's like a regional race, and if you place in this race, then you like go to Las Vegas and you race in like the big race in Las Vegas.
Oh my God, so she didn't place.
Well, we went there, and I hate this stuff. I get motion sick in vehicles like this. I can't handle any of it. And but I was like, I don't know, if I'm gonna be here, I'm gonna try. And I think it was because I was nauseous and dissociating from my body, but I had reckless abandon for my own well-being, and I drove like a monster, and I was cutting people off. I got yelled at multiple times by people, like, you got to slow the fuck down, from the people working there.
Whoa, where was
I crashed. This was in, some place like
Super
40
Mario
minutes
World?
outside LA.
Okay.
No, it wasn't there. And I wound up coming in third place and beating Allie by one place.
Oh my God.
Yes. Yeah. And I was like, I don't know. I just couldn't. And I felt so sick. I wanted to throw up. I couldn't walk after I was done.
So despite being horrible at it, you were good.
I felt horrible, but it was like I left my body, and like, because I didn't give a shit whether or not I lived or died, I was just driving as fast as humanly possible, crashing into
forced you
tires.
into not valuing your own life at that particular moment?
Because I was so nauseous. I was driving this go-kart.
Oh, you felt so sick, you were like, I want to just die.
I was just
You
like, I
wanted
don't
it to
even
be
give a
over,
fuck.
and you went
That was
faster.
like a death
Yeah.
wish.
All right, we have to go to break,
yeah.
and then we'll hear more about this when we get back. Or maybe we won't. I don't know yet. All right, we're back.
I have a question for you.
Yes, Brian, what?
Okay, so you know the type of car that's named after, don't say the name.
Okay.
The type of car that's named after a black jungle cat. It's like a kind of expensive car.
Yes.
Black. Okay. Now say it in your head first. How do you say that word?
I know. What
How
you're
do you
gonna
say that word?
Yeah, I don't like how people pronounce this word either, but it's jaguar, and I don't like
What?
jaguar.
Wait,
Ah,
hold on. What?
No, what?
Nikki, where?
Jaguar. Guire.
You say jaguar?
jaguar.
Yeah. See, this is the
Grr.
problem.
Jaguar?
This is the problem.
Jaguar, like the band Guar? Is that what you're
Yeah.
supposed to say?
I say
Okay, so
jaguar, but
there's
some people
three
say
ways-
jaguar.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's three
Jaguar.
ways that people say it. Like people that want to sound fancy and British go Jaguar. Like Jaguar.
Like Dracula.
Jaguar.
Jaguar. Yes.
And then there are people who say Jaguar, which I believe is the way to say it.
It just
And
sounds
then-
like you're giving
I'm on your
up.
team.
Even though Guar is Guar, I get it, but I feel like it's Jaguar. I don't
It's
know. I
not
just
Where'd
feel
you
like
get wire? There's no
People
wire.
say Jaguar, and it is. I can't imagine it's How do you pronounce it?
I don't know. I guess that's just my Midwest. I understand that it's not correct. Just like
Okay.
like saying crayons or crowns or however people say it. It's not correct, but it's like regional for me, and that is how I say it. And so, yeah, Jaguar. I just don't
Yeah.
say Jaguar. Jaguar sounds like you're just like Jaguar. Because you're not done with the word.
Jaguar.
Finish
Jaguar.
it.
Jaguar.
Yeah.
Jaguar.
Jaguar.
China's
I-
Mormon, and
I
she always
hate
used
cars.
to say jaguar. Like
I get
but-
stressed out talking about cars. Like even like there's too many models, there's too many kinds, there's too many cylinders. Chris is like, the turning radius on this BMW is amazing. I'm like, then why doesn't everyone get this turning radius? Like, why doesn't this turning radius why don't they copy this kind of turning radius and make it in all the cars if it's the best? These seats are the best. Let's use all those seats. Let's just make one car that does it. I know I'm talking about like we could do this for everything and people like variety, but cars stress me out. Chris wants me to get one. I have to go pick up mine today from the shop. That's why we're doing this podcast earlier. I'm stressed out about getting it because it's just it's old and it worries me all the time. Do you know what stresses me out more than anything? And I think, did I already talk about this? Cars going over curbs.
No.
It's add it to my list of things that fucking cause me so much anxiety. When there's a car
yeah.
going over a curb and it kind of goes like boom, boom. And like
yeah.
in action movies, in Barbie, there's a scene where they're being chased and the car goes over a curb. And I'm like, it just ruined the axle. Like it just bothers me that they just ruined this car for this little curb. Like, and if my
Yeah.
car hits a curb or it goes over a pothole, oh my God, I want to die. It stresses me out so much.
That happened to me the other day. I was exiting. I got an oil change. And I was waiting out to pull out into a busy street, and
Yeah.
there was a traffic light there. So there was a bunch of cars backed up in a line, and I was just hoping that someone would be polite enough to let me into that line, and somebody did. And I was like, "Oh my God, thank God!"
Yeah,
and then
LA does that.
the light turned green, and like the lady was like probably in the wrong for letting me go. She like was really maybe
Oh
too
yeah,
polite.
people can be too nice. Mhm.
But I was going to pull into the street, and then I pulled to the right, and I was too close, and in front of everybody, in front of the lady that
Boom,
helped me, in front of
boom.
the, I did
Over
a
the
bump
curb.
bump, And it's like, oh my God, because not only did I embarrass myself, but I embarrassed the lady who was kind enough.
It's like when
She
an old
vouched for
person
me.
falls.
She vouched for me, and I fucking bumped the curb in front of her and
It's
everybody.
so embarrassing. There's something I would rather just hit a wall and just like start smoking and I'll get all dented than it continue going after it's been bumped. I don't know why. It just like there's something about it that reminds me of when I was a kid and I got a Barbie doll. It still stresses me out to this day. Like I'm tensing up. I have to go to therapy later today. I'm going to my somatic therapist who talks about like what does your body do when you talk about things, and this is like causing me a lot of like I want to get small. I got a Little Mermaid Barbie doll for Easter one year. Maybe it wasn't Little Mermaid because it feels too. No, it was definitely Little Mermaids. It was like 91, first grade, and her fucking bangs were bent in a way that I knew was like a manufacturing error, and I could not handle it. That this Barbie is supposed to be perfect. It is perfect. It is in a box. It was bought new, but its bangs are bent in a weird way. And I was hurling myself throughout my parents' minivan. And it was one of the times where they looked at each other and were like, she's crazy. And I kind of like knew I was. And I was like, I can't control this though. Like I can't stand that this thing has like a little bit of damage to it that ruins the entire thing. So when my car goes over one of those things, I just feel like the alignment has now been set unstraight and now it is imperfect and I've ruined everything because I'm stained and I did something wrong. Like it is such a childhood trauma thing of like, why can't things be just perfect? I want them to stay perfect as I look at a room that is almost hoarder levels beyond like behind this camera. Hoarder levels of crap that I can't get out of my life. Even though Chris, we've moved in together.
Me too.
And I came home last night to our new apartment because he changed a lot of things while I was gone for the past 2 months. And he changed them in great ways. But I was like, he was cleaning out the podcast room because he had put a bunch of stuff in here as he was organizing other stuff. And I was like, I am so sorry. I have so much fucking crap. And he was like, no, you've actually done a really good job of getting rid of stuff. So I have done something, but it never ends. Can we just stop putting jewelry in little pouches, little velvet pouches? I'm tired of things coming in pouches. I'm tired of I have too many little things. Do you know what I'm talking about when I say that?
I've got
Why
pouches.
does everything have to have a bag with it? Why does everything have to have little buttons that come with it, or like a little sack of buttons, or a little extra bag of string and coats? Like I'm tired of little things.
You ever
There's
order
too
something
many.
from Amazon and it's usually from China, and then they give you like a little gift that you didn't ask for along with the thing? What the fuck is that?
Oh God! Or Etsy, they send you like 18 stickers plus another little box, like a little gift with it. So you like go.
The trash.
I'm gonna remember this company directly into the trash, and then I stress out though because I'm throwing away something that like someone might go, oh, I love this. Like someone might
I know.
love.
Look
that
at this little
thing.
pouch. I have this pouch. It came with my noise canceling headphones, but it's good because I use this pouch all the time for this little cable that connects my headphones to my computer or the airplane when I'm watching stuff.
A better person than me. I
I'm
don't
not.
have anything. I don't think that way of like, I'll put this little thing in this little thing. I don't think that way. Brian, you even said that Allie, during your vows, you were like, I'll always love you. Like, you know how the thing that people do in vows, Brian did it too, where they like take something that they're annoyed by their spouse about, but they go, and I even love you for this thing. And it's like, an annoying thing. And one of the things was he loves her for taking things out of little bags and putting them in littler bags or something. I think you've explained it already on the podcast, but I still don't understand what that is.
Yeah, it's only annoying because of when she decides to do it. And usually it's like when we need to like leave the car or get ready to go to a thing. Allie has this thing where she needs to be, I call it just being comfortable. Like, I don't know about you, but I don't need to be comfortable at any point at any time of the day. Like if you're feeling like a little hot or a little thirsty or a little tired, I just keep going. I just keep barreling through the day until I finally collapsed in my bed in a heap of agony.
And
But
then your
Allie-
bed is uncomfortable.
Yes.
Your
But
$6,000.
Allie is like, we've got to stop and we've got to address this so that I'm 100% comfortable. And so one of those things is taking stuff out of bags and putting them into other bags so that there isn't too many things in one bag, or she has everything she needs in a littler bag. And it takes a really long time, and I find it to be entirely unnecessary because, like, yeah, just take the whole bag, or it doesn't matter if this is in that bag or that's in this bag.
Yeah, Chris is like that too.
Yeah.
He likes to like be efficient.
Yes. I don't know what it is actually. Like, I honestly, that's the other thing. I don't understand it. I don't understand why that thing needs to be in that bag.
Is it a purse situation, or are they like plastic bags? Like, what's inside these
all
bags?
sorts of fucking bags. All sorts of bags. I don't even know what she's moving from one bag to the next bag. All I know is that it takes about 15 minutes.
And it's in the car?
Sometimes it's in the car. Sometimes it's like as we're getting ready to go. And it's like, hold on, I got to move my sunglasses. I had my sunglasses in my fanny pack, and now I need to take it out of my fanny pack and put it into my sunglass case, which is inside my backpack. And then I need to take my water bottle out of my backpack and put it into my smaller bag that I'm going to carry with me by hand.
Chris is like this
why are you doing
He's
this?
just efficient. He doesn't want to waste he doesn't want to carry anything that he doesn't need to carry. He wants to bring everything that is the right amount and have a bag for it that is the perfect size for that.
But it's not efficient because it takes 15 minutes to organize the bag.
I would agree. I don't understand how slow people move. And that is sometimes my boyfriend, even though I understand why he does it, because he doesn't forget things. He doesn't lose things. But the way he like opens bags, like if I even touch his bag, like I know I have to like hold the zipper, like I have to hold where the zipper starts and then pull the zipper. Whereas I would just like grab at my zipper without holding the bag. So the whole bag would move with my zipper and I'd yank it, you know? But when I touch his bags, I have to be like, careful, open it delicately. Like it's like
How's
I'm almost doing surgery.
Gonna go?
It's actually going great because he doesn't care that I'm messy.
Can it be a reality show? Because I would watch every episode of this.
He is now for a guy who eats Emo's pizza, which is literally it's kind of smells like a dumpster. Like it is I worked there in high school. It's gross. It's bad for you. There's no question of it. He's crazy about water and like plastic containers and like he doesn't want any kind of microplastics or any like weird stuff. So we have water delivered. I'm a person who has water delivered to my house and I go, let's just get a Brita and just use the tap.
Right,
like,
you have the best charcoal filtered thing that everyone
He has a
wants.
Berkey, yes. And it's up on the shelf now because we're not using it. He just wants to do spring water and we have like a receptacle for it and we're having it delivered in these giant glass bottles. I don't know. He's in charge of that. So I'm like, sweet. I have this water that tastes like nothing. It's great. It's great water, but I don't care about that kind of thing. I'm glad he does. My refrigerator is spotless. All of my drawers have little compartments now. He went to the Container Store and bought everything.
Wow.
And so we have a container in every single cabinet. Everything is organized.
Yes.
It's beautiful.
That's great.
And
That's
I
so
had nothing to do with it. And he does not mind that I am nothing like that. Last night we made dinner, and by making dinner, we took, he got me Emo's and I got Whole Foods, and we just, and by Whole Foods,
assembled it on a plate.
Sushi bar. Yeah, we put it on, barely. No, I ate it out of the plastic container. Didn't assemble on a plate.
In a
so we were just like
garbage bag.
eating dinner. I don't know why I said made dinner. Ate dinner. And, afterwards, we're like cleaning up and I'm like, man, if I lived alone, I would just like get this in the morning. Like, I don't really care about going to bed with a clean home. And I know most people on here probably would. But as long as it's not like leaving old food out, I'd probably just like, I don't know. I'd probably just throw it all in the sink. The sink is like a trash until I'm ready to put things in the trash. It like clears things off. It's just in a dirty little receptacle kind of. But last night I was like, how does a girlfriend behave? I washed off the plastic. I put it in the thing. I wiped off Chris is home. Dogs, calm down. Hey, Chris, will you let the dogs out to see you?
It's so interesting that he organized the closets and the drawers and stuff because I did the exact same thing. Whereas Allie does the bags into other bags. She doesn't give a shit about putting little drawers and closets and making sure there's shelving in the cabinets. And I went and I did that for every cabinet in the kitchen and all the closets. Yeah. So what's that? Why don't I care about the bags, but I care about the thing that Chris cares about?
I don't know. I don't know. Again, I can't really say this another time, but I don't know why I am the way I am, and I wish I was more organized. Really?
I have a question for you guys, which I think might be related to hormone differences. So someone let their dog poop in on our front yard, and we have a Nest camera. And every time this happens, Matt is like, I cannot wait to go through the Nest camera and see which of our neighbors let their dog do this. And
I would love
to
to see that too.
And I was like, oh God, here we go. And he was furious. So he's like, I can't, who does this? And then he we were going to see the movie, and we were late for the movie because he had to go in the house, clean up the thing, take vinegar, pour vinegar all over the lawn. I'm like, why are you doing this? He's like,
why is that?
Because if a dog shits on a lawn, he will always go back to shit on that lawn. But if you put cayenne pepper or vinegar on it, they will not want to poop there again.
Okay, so your lawn has to do the master cleanse after every shit.
Yeah. I think cayenne pepper is not very nice to do, but he did vinegar. So anyway, he finds the person. And he's like, I found it. Oh my God. I knew it was this lady. I knew it was her. She never says hi to me. She's always weird to me. And I'm like, let me see this. And I look, and I couldn't believe my eyes. This woman lets her dog poop on the front lawn, mimics picking it up. She has one of those gloves that's a poop bag. Takes her glove, mimics picking it up.
Get out of town.
Yes, and then leaves it. And I'm like, oh my God, we closed up on it several times. I'm like, I can't believe someone would do this.
Wow.
So
that's
batshit
crazy.
I know. And then Matt was like, next time I see her, I'm going to tell her, I saw what you did, and I'm going to call the police next time. I'm like, don't say that.
Well, that doesn't.
I'm like, there's no police.
Show up.
It's like, there's a dog. There's a dog unit. I'm like, okay, that's not the police. So that's like a dog patrol or whatever.
Yeah, no one cares about someone. He's turning into an old man if he's going to call the police after a poop on a lawn.
I was like, you can just
confront her and just be like, why did you mime picking it up? That is so embarrassing. We have you miming picking up dog shit.
Just talk to her one time and she'll never do it again because she's so embarrassed.
Yeah, I wonder.
No, today I was my dog shit, and I didn't have a bag, and these people sitting outside Starbucks saw my dog shit, and so I had to go like, where's the bags? Gotta go get the bags, because I always pick up dog shit. And if I forget to pick up my own dog shit because I don't have a bag, later on I'll pick up a dog shit that isn't my dog's to make up for the fact that I didn't get that shit. Because usually I pick it up with leaves or with mulch. You guys, if you've seen my reality show, you know my mulch trick where you just douse it with tons of mulch and you cover it like a birthday cake in sprinkles. And so you pick it up and you're only touching the sprinkles, the mulch, and you're not touching the shit. It's a great idea. Or grass, any kind of thing. But I had to get Starbucks napkins today. But these guys did think I was just going to leave it. And I was like, oh, I know they're whispering about me. But I think it's so crazy to do that, to leave it. This woman's mentally unwell, for sure.
Yeah.
She's
I guess
not happy,
Kingston's
right?
not such a paradise after all.
Yeah.
You want to hear something interesting? I don't know if you're going to find this interesting. Tell me if you think this is interesting, because I find this to be interesting. The population of Kingston is currently 24,100. In 1990, guess what the population of Kingston was?
28,000.
Oh, you think it went down?
I mean, that's why I think this is maybe interesting, because otherwise, how could this be interesting?
So
I'm going to guess
unless 4,000 people died.
30 years ago, a generation ago, the population of Kingston was 23,894. So it's basically not changed at all.
Wow, that is interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. No, it's gone up.
It's just the same.
That helps me understand why no businesses are open here ever. It's like
they're always
everything
closed, or
is
just
closed.
There's no businesses.
Like if you want Mexican food, I hope you know you can only get it Thursday, Friday, and Saturday at the very popular Mexican food restaurant in town that everyone loves. That's it.
Do you make every meal?
No, we go out once in a while, but we do cook a lot. But we like cooking a lot. Like I haven't been truly blown away by a lot of restaurant food here.
What do you guys cook? Like, what's your number one thing to cook?
Number one thing, I mean, I love this gluten-free pasta I make. We do that with like a quote unquote bolognese, but it's Beyond Meat and then like a tomato sauce. And then we make a nice big salad. Lately, I've been really into sandwiches for lunch. I don't know why, because there's a fancy sandwich place here and it's like $50 every time we go. And we're like, let's just learn how to make these sandwiches. And they're amazing.
Okay.
And so just make like a really yummy vegan or vegetarian sandwich with like a fried egg and then sprouts and lettuce and tomato. This place does it with sauerkraut, so I should just buy canned, but like basic vegetarian food mostly, and we love it.
Okay, all right.
What do you guys do?
That.
Take out. Sorry, it's so
I do
boring.
take out for every single meal, and that's just what my life is.
You and Chris don't cook at all?
Chris will cook a little bit sometimes when he's like trying to be better about being healthy because he doesn't really have options for healthy food like elsewhere. So he'll like make Brussels sprouts and stuff. But like, no, we don't cook at all.
That's why I go out. I want to go out for something I couldn't possibly make, like really delicious Brussels sprouts. I don't know how to make them. So they're like,
you need a
salt
flamethrower.
Fried or or like
sugar.
Is that it?
I mean, anything that is cooked elsewhere that you're like, how do they do it? It's usually those ingredients, I think.
Well, for Brussels sprouts, you need the flamethrower thing to make them really crispy and burned.
I guess we got to get air fryers. Everybody's doing air fryers. No,
those people can eat shit.
Those are gonna go out of style soon, I bet.
You know what?
Tried it?
I think
no, but I don't know what I'd air fry.
Everybody's like, it's incredible. Sweet potato fries. Chicken nuggets, tofu nuggets, deep fried anything, cauliflower wings. Like you can make the most incredible
I don't know
shit.
how people live their lives where they have to cook all their meals.
Yeah,
they are constantly cleaning. They're constantly.
It does take a really long time to cook your dinner. I mean, it's you can do fast stuff, but if you want to make like a good meal,
clean up the dinner.
Yeah, no, it takes a long time. Every time I do, it's like, wow, I just spent from the hours of 5 p.m. until 7:30 p.m. cooking and cleaning my dinner.
Yep.
I clean my dinner too.
It's a lot of maintenance and upkeep.
But
Just
I will say
being in a
takeout makes you feel bad
too.
because you are constantly throwing away plastic.
And it costs like $7,000.
But that's my one thing that's my one indulgence. That and Taylor Swift tickets. Those are my things.
The population of St. Louis, okay? Right now, in 2023, it is 293,310.
That's
what do you
probably
think?
St. Louis City.
St. Louis City. Yeah, isn't that what it is? St. Louis is a
but
city.
that's not where I live. Not
You
even
live
close,
in St. Louis
brother.
County?
Yeah.
Okay, so St. Louis County. Okay, well, this one's not
I think we're like
interesting.
millions.
Population of St. Louis County is 997,187.
Oh.
Yeah.
What was it in 1990, whatever?
In 1990, it was basically the same, 993,000. But the
That's
city,
when we got to town. My family moved here from Cincinnati.
Oh.
Yeah.
What's interesting is the
1990.
city has decreased dramatically since 1990.
Oh,
People moved out of the city.
Yeah. Because, white flight, baby.
Yeah.
St. Louis is very segregated and very scared of the city. That's why I said like it's different. Like my sister lives kind of in the city, and you would think she lives on Skid Row with how people respond with like, you live in the city. I mean, her car was stolen twice in 1 week, I think. So
did they have 2 cars stolen or 1 car twice?
Two different cars stolen. Both of their cars were stolen, I think, in 1 week
from the driveway.
We gotta go to break, but I want to talk about something that happened with Luigi last night when we get back. My stepdog, or not stepdog. He was my dog, but I've given him away. What is
your biological dog? Your biological son.
Yeah. We'll be back after this. Okay, we're back. Here I am with Marion, my dog, and Luigi is in the other room with Chris because he hates me right now because the dogs are staying with me right now. And my parents taught me a funny trick it's not even a trick. It's actually really cruel now that I think about it. But you know how certain dogs respond to certain words like WALK or like TREAT, and you have to like spell it so they don't get too worked up. Well, there's a certain word that makes Luigi so sad and like turn, like, it's funny how fucking sad he gets so quickly.
What is
But
it?
if you say the word BATH, he is, tail goes between his legs. You would think that he has been beaten in baths. So I can't even believe it. I said the word because I said I would never say it around. There was something horrible happened to him. In a bath.
That used to happen to my dog Bruno. Like if he would hear me whispering bath, he would just hide.
Why do they hate them
the
so much?
bath.
It's not that long. It's not that horrible. But you would think he was like it's like I said the R word to someone who has had that happen to them. Like he was traumatized in a way that I felt so bad because I was saying to because I was like, Chris, look how funny this is, because my parents showed it to me and it was really funny when I first saw it because he just like puts his tail between his legs and he just kind of tiptoes into a dark room to like go hide. It's so funny. But then
Willa
last
does
night
that
I
when
did
we
it.
say bunny. She saw a bunny once outside, and now she knows the word. And if you ever say bunny, her ears go crazy, and she goes to the window, and for like an hour, she's just staring out, like laser focused out the window, waiting for a non-existent bunny to come back.
That's sad. But that's actually like, she's not like sad though. Luigi looked like he was reminded of a time where, you know, he got severely
waterboarded.
hurt or something. Yeah, that's exactly it. And so last night I did it and Chris was like, I think this is cruel because he went in the other room and he wouldn't come out. And I was like, babe, I'm so sorry. Come here. And then he started shaking, trembling like crazy, you guys. Like, just like, but he also is a kind of dog that likes to be a baby and likes to be a widow, when he gets like, I go, are you a sad dog? He'll like get sadder looking to just get like, and he'll just get like kind of limp bodied. So sometimes I can make him start shaking if I just go, oh, is someone so sad? And he will eventually start shaking. But last night he was shaking so much from the mention of a BATH. And then I started saying like, oh man, I have a math problem to do later. Like I was just saying things that rhyme with it. And he was even getting triggered by that. And I felt so bad. And the rest of the night he was mad at me. He was mad at me until for hours after. He wouldn't, we were eating popcorn. He wouldn't take a popcorn from my hand. He would only take it from Chris's. He was like punishing me. He was so mad at me. He's very smart. He's such an asshole. And I love him so much, but I was just wondering if you guys, I'm glad that Bruno had that same response. Like, what? They get clean. And also, as soon as we get done with the bath, I go, it's towel time. And then I go like with towels and I just like mess towels around their head and they freaking love nothing more than towel
How often do you
time.
bathe him?
I used to bathe him like once a month, I think.
That's good.
Like not that much. And he would love it when it was over. And it's like, wasn't even that worth
Bruno
it?
would
Like,
also-
it's almost like working out. Like I work out because of the feeling after working out.
Explain that to him.
Yeah, right?
Bruno would also turn
what?
Bruno would also turn into a stone in the shower. So he would not like move.
Yes.
It was like that dog
Yes.
that like turned into a statue in, I think it was like Home Alone or something.
Pompeii. Oh,
Or,
yeah.
no, in Problem Child. I don't know if you've seen that movie.
Oh,
from a long time ago.
No, but I know what you mean. Like I like that's what Luigi does too. Just like gets totally shivery and so tense and like a boner, like stiff like a boner.
Do you
Yeah.
try treats? Because Willie used to do that and hate baths, and now I just bring treats up there and just keep giving her
Wouldn't
treats
eat
through the
them.
whole bath.
Positive
And now she
reinforcement.
jumps into the tub like a
That's
little
a good
slut.
idea. But what is the difference between a dog when you know when you scratch a dog in an area where they're like, oh yeah, and they kind of get tense and they start shaking their leg and they kind of like start shaking and they like look up into the sky and their bodies start twisting and contorting because they're in such ecstasy. How is that not an orgasm? How is that not like Marion will have one right now if I get her spot. She was having one last night and I was like, there's no difference between me and Marion when we have an orgasm. The same thing happens. The same body contortions.
Does she finish?
And I just remember as a kid being like doing that to dogs, making their legs twitch and making them get all tense and stuff and not even thinking anything of it. Like, but I wonder if my parents were constantly like, oh my God, that dog looks like it's having an orgasm. Like, I wonder if all adults were always thinking like, that dog looks like it's coming.
No,
But
why
that's
don't people
what
connect
makes
the
you
two?
special.
And then he gets really tired after, and then he starts smoking a cigarette.
Yes.
When I was a kid, I hated baths, and my parents told me that for 2 years they didn't give me a bath because I would scream And my dad's like, you developed scabs on your head. You were really difficult. I'm like, you're a terrible parent. Like, why are you blaming me? Right?
Not for 2 years.
I know, but somehow it was my fault. I was an infant. Like, you were really problematic, really weird kid. Just didn't like water.
And that
on
was
your
before wet wipes. Like, what did parents do back then?
just get a
spit?
rag. I don't know.
They'd leave
Evidently,
you out
I
in the
hated
snow.
the feeling of water on my head. So maybe it's not that rare.
Well-
Anya bringing up this camera that she filmed her neighbor doing the poop reminded me of this story I read over the weekend that made me feel crazy. But there's this couple in Florida who had just had a baby, and their downstairs neighbor complained that the baby was crying too much. And but there's nothing they could do about it. It's a crying baby. But then a couple of months go by, and all of a sudden they start noticing a weird chemical smell in the apartment. Yes, they start noticing a weird chemical smell in the apartment. And they're like, that's weird. And they tried to look everywhere. They looked at the hot water heater. They looked at the gas leak. They looked for everything in the house, and they fixed things, and they thought they got rid of the chemical smell. But then all of a sudden, the baby, who is now like 1 or something, started vomiting and crying, getting really sick.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And they were like, we don't know what's going on. So then they decided to put some cameras. They hid some cameras in a bush right outside their front door to be like, what the fuck is going on? What's this chemical smell? Why is everybody in the house getting sick? And this is going on for months and months and months. And then one day, all of a sudden, they see on their camera their neighbor, the one who complained about the baby crying, before he leaves for work or whatever. He walks up to the front door with a syringe, and he injects chemicals underneath the door jamb into the house, and then walks away. And they have him it's like this was filmed for a television
Oppenheimer with
show.
the apple.
I didn't see that yet. So
Okay.
But it's like this was filmed for a television show. Like, you can see his face. You can see this perfectly framed, this guy injecting the syringe. And they found out that this guy, who was a chemistry doctorate student at a local university, was taking chemicals, mixing them together like a fucking mad scientist, and injecting them into the door of the house to try to kill the baby because he was mad that it was crying all the time.
Jesus.
Oh
Yes.
my God.
Final thought. People are insane. I told Brian this the other day. Seriously, people are so stupid and crazy. First of all, how do you not know that everywhere is cameras? If I wanted to murder someone, I just wouldn't do it because everywhere's cameras. There's cameras all over. You're always going to get caught. You're fucked. Like, you can't murder someone anymore. This isn't 1940s. Oppenheimer could have killed that chemistry guy with the apple, even though I heard that's not a true story based on, that was one of the parts of the movie that wasn't real. And it's not don't worry. Don't get mad at me about the spoiler. It was 2 seconds of a movie, and it never comes back to even be a part of the movie. Right, Anya?
Correct.
Okay. Anya, I saw Oppenheimer. Oh, wait a second. I just want to say this too. There's a website called like Rent a Hitman. I told Brian about this. And they're catching so many people who are trying to kill people because people really think it's a place you can get a hitman. And so they're signing up and trying to procure a hitman. So go to rentahitman.com and see. It's like a fake website to catch people who are trying to kill their spouses, I'm guessing. But I saw Oppenheimer. I loved it. I don't really know what I saw, though, to be honest with you. I saw Cillian Murphy is hot and cool, and I like watching him. He's just hot in a weird, mysterious, kind of creepy way. He's a great actor. Emily Blunt, I'm a fan now. I know I'm like, God, why is she in everything? But I get why she's in everything. She's fucking good. And I liked how they like made her look more and more like old and alcoholic throughout the movie. I saw it at the Chinese Grauman Theater, like the gigantic 70K screen or whatever it is. It was a very loud movie. I had to put earplugs in the entire time.
Really?
It was fast paced. There was no need for, it was almost like Eras Tour. You never get bored because it changes so fast all the time. It's like there's no boring scenes. It flips around a lot. I did feel like it was like the same kind of movie same scene over and over because it kind of was because it went through I thought it was great. And yeah, I liked it. I don't know what to feel after it. It didn't like stay with me though. I'm not like thinking about it a ton after I saw it.
Sure.
It was good though. What did you think about it, Anya? Because I haven't talked to anyone who's seen it about it. I know that you had.
I was impressed visually, but I also was like, this is not for me. Christopher Nolan is famous for really using soundtrack so much. And for me, it was just like, I'm distracted by this sound being so loud throughout the whole thing. It's like a movie trailer. It's like, I just want to hear these people talk, and I don't need like swelling strings in this part. It's just like, shut up.
I would have loved some captions up in that bitch. I felt very like I am used to captions now. I need them. I want them. I thought, I really liked it, and I'm glad I saw it.
It was just
because Chris was maybe going to go alone, and I said, "What do you mean by that?"
Too male gaze. Like Florence Pugh doesn't need to be nude in every scene. We don't need her tit.
She did. I liked it.
No, she didn't though. It was all about like her tit in every shot. And it's like what she's saying is actually kind of important, but we just have to put her naked in this scene again.
Do you know your ears and your nipples completely match up?
Mine?
What?
I found this. Yeah, just yours, Anya. I read a fact about Anya last night on your
On
earlobes and your nipples are perfectly aligned.
Hold on.
Or should be
really?
if you're think about it.
That kind of makes sense.
Yeah, I like it. I don't know
know.
why that was interesting to me.
Did you learn that in Oppenheimer?
That's why it was a good film.
Yeah, that's what I learned it off. I have to go because I have to go to therapy and get my car. But thank you guys for doing the podcast today. Thank you for listening to the podcast. I'm on tour this week, Chicago Theater Friday. I'm very excited about it. New material, new merch. Anya will be there. Chris will be there. He's not performing, but he'll be in the house. And you will be there. Hopefully, tell your friends. Chicago this week. I really want to sell it out. We are not even close, and I would really like to get those tickets moving. This isn't like Era's tour. If you buy a ticket to my show, it actually matters. It's not like every seat counts, and I really appreciate it if you come. So, and also Peoria on Saturday, also in Illinois. Very excited about that show as well. Friday and Saturday this week, and then my tour kicks off, and I'm off to like 1 million shows in the next couple months, and I'm really pumped for them. Best material yet. Come out and see me. Thanks for listening to the pod today. Don't be and just listen to what Florence has to say. Don't stare at her shits.